pushing the boundaries of expectations, and rewriting the rules of adventure are the reasons we get up in the morning. This is a way of life, a huge and growing community of explorers and adventurers, leading the way, blazing new trails, and raising the bar. We share your hunger for a life without limits, and we know you'll stop at nothing to get there.
Greetings and welcome back, KB creatives all over the world. I'm Stephen King, and welcome to the Law of Attraction podcast. KineticBelief.com is the website. Hello, Miss Maggie.
Hello.
How are you?
You came in quicker than I thought.
Yeah,
You're already done.
I'm on my giddy up go pony today.
I see that. I'm gonna have to keep up with you.
I got a lot I want to talk about. First of all, I want to give a shout out to all of the KB creatives listening in the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, Germany, Canada, India, Austria today, Mexico, South Korea is tuned in, Switzerland, New Zealand, the Philippines, France, Nigeria, Chile, may I say, Ireland, Iran, Netherlands, Singapore, and some others. But anyway, I'll take it the whole time.
So when you say KBs around the world, you mean it.
Absolutely, all over the world, and I love the cities that I'm looking at too.
Yeah, wow.
So some really cool ones. We got to get
so
around to all of
exciting.
them. When they open everything back up, we're on the way.
Yes.
We're going to take off.
Can we just do like a world tour and just go see every kinetic believer around the world?
I want to go to the house and
Yes.
hello, can we
Excuse
come
me?
in and chat for a while?
That'd be amazing, actually.
Wouldn't it? Oh, can we do that?
Yeah.
Why don't we do a home to home tour?
Everyone just got nervous.
Right. Don't answer the door.
I mean, your podcast is good, but okay.
Oh, that's hilarious. KB, the family is growing. I mean, we've got
Yes, it
listeners
is.
all over the place.
Isn't that exciting to know that ideas and thoughts and positivity, it really does spread, and it has legs, and
Yes.
it's passed
Yes.
from one person to another, and it spans the globe. It's so exciting.
There is a shift happening, and good
A
energy
shift.
cannot be contained. And as long as we are all going to the same trough to enjoy the energetics of kinetic belief, yes, it's in a sense it's contagious,
Yes.
which we don't need a vaccine for.
No, you don't want to be cured.
Spread it,
Yes.
spread the joy, spread the light. I think we should start sculling on Monday and Thursday mornings. By the way, and I'm doing this in front of an audience, so you just have to jump on board.
Yeah. Sculling. Wow. Well, have you done sculling before?
No, I was, I of course, kayaking, canoeing, we've done that, but sculling, I've
different.
always wanted to, never had the opportunity. And I was looking into it the other day.
I love rowing in the gym.
Right?
Is that the same? Is that even remotely
not quite,
the same?
Not unless you can fall off the row machine pretty easily. Because the sculls, apparently they roll.
Don't doubt me. I'm sure I could fall off a rowing machine in a gym.
Then you can handle the sculling. I think they're kind of fragile. They
Oh,
sort of
okay.
roll. But how cool would that be to go out at 5 in the morning?
Yeah, like first light.
First light, yeah, you
or
want to
something.
see the water, right? So we can go out at first light and go sculling. We'll get one of those 2-person.
Yeah, they have. I do know they have like the super lightweight ones that you see people carrying around. And,
Yeah, it looks so cool. We were watching something the
let's
other day
do
that
it.
just made me want to do it.
Oh,
Well, we're going to
man.
look into it.
we can at least
take.
take some cool pictures.
Yeah.
while we're doing it.
Oh, that's
at
what we do.
least.
Okay, when we do it, let's take a picture and so we can send it to all
Yeah.
the KBs as proof, just for proof.
I can see it now. The series of photos. It's us getting in the water, getting in the boat, and then the next one I'm soaking wet.
How about this? Hey, KBs, anybody done any sculling? Send us some pictures and a couple of pointers.
Yes.
What we should or should not do. Hey, if you could go back and relive any moment in your life, what would it be?
Oh, that's easy.
What?
It's our wedding.
Oh, stop it.
No, it sounds kind of cheesy, but it was the most magical day of my life.
Well,
it was
I
unbelievable.
only said stop it because that's what I was going to say.
Oh, come on. Really?
Yeah.
Well, really, I mean, it's obviously that we got married. I mean, that was amazing. But it was all of it. That was the whole experience.
Yes,
and
right.
it was a very dramatic day. We were out in front of the Grand Tetons, and this huge storm is coming in, but it doesn't really come in. It just sort of sits back there for this dramatic backdrop, and just everything about it was so perfect.
The photos, the flowers, it was fields and truly fields of flowers as far as you could see in bloom in front of the Tetons. And when you say it was a mixed bag of possibilities, when we were having our pictures made after, we're still out in the field.
Yeah.
our hair.
Oh, I know.
No, lightning.
Yeah.
Lightning was nearby, and both of us, our hair goes straight up.
Yeah.
And okay, time to quit.
We just start running
We're
toward the
outta
car.
here. Yeah. Can you outrun lightning?
We did. So, no, it was, and it was everything. It was, us, and come on, it was just magical.
And that's another good one. KB's, let us know. Email us or let us know. What if you could go back and relive any moment in your life?
Do it in the private Facebook group. I love when we ask questions here and people post them there. It's such a great way to share.
Perfect.
Yes.
What would it be?
Yeah. Ooh, I'll post a photo from our wedding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
I'll start.
Let's interact like this.
I love it.
I love it.
I miss everyone.
The day we
Yay.
got married. Perfect. Kinetic belief, that is how we use the law of attraction to manifest anything that we can possibly desire. I manifested you, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
I showed up.
Regardless of who you are.
Did I manifest you, or was I just
Sure.
at the mercy of your attraction?
But no, listen,
That got me.
it doesn't matter who you are. Your circumstances change, and they change at home, they change at work, they change with your health. Your circumstances in traffic will absolutely change toward aligning with your expectations. I mean, just try it out. If you start having a hissy fit in traffic, I can guarantee you it's going to add 10 minutes to your commute.
And maybe a rear end.
Possibly so.
Something
But
terrible.
it's the discipline of kinetic belief that enables anyone to predetermine their circumstances. It's by knowing how to use kinetic belief that we intentionally change our circumstances anywhere. And it's kinetic belief when it's combined with quantum entanglement theory, with the law of faith, that we can willfully change the universe, and we do it through observation. Today I want to talk about the awesome assumptions of greatness.
Ooh, I love that.
That's a mouthful, isn't it?
Yeah, I love that, though.
Well,
Assumptions of greatness.
First off, I want to take just a moment before we start and really jump in. I want to address a question that a lot of people have been asking and have been sending in regarding what I think about them taking the vaccine for COVID.
Yeah, I saw those. Yeah.
So, as a kinetic believer, look, it's not life choices that determine our success anymore. It's not the choices that you make regarding anything as to whether or not you're going to be successful, not when you're adding the substance and authority and the dominion of your belief. It's not the pro forma of an action that defines something as being right or wrong or good or bad. It's our article of faith. It's your resting assumption or your kinetic belief that will determine what is right or wrong for you. In other words, things to ask yourself regarding any vaccine, not just COVID, but any vaccine or anything, any question, anything that you may or may not desire. The things to ask yourself would be something like, do I choose to believe that it will be good for me? Because the reasonings are important only when they are used to develop your unwavering belief. Now, because you're going to do this on purpose. You do this intentionally. When we become fully convinced on a matter and we settle it within our soul, regardless of the purpose, but we settle it. And I mean, this is when you enter into an unwavered moment of presence, and you can from this place you conjure up gratitude and the enjoyment of a restful peace about the decision you're making. And you are able to motivate yourself with a strong desire for it, then the vaccine will be a good thing for you. But like all things that we put into our manifesting kinetic belief journals, for example, the affirmations of great expectations, in a state of unconditional love for who we are, for our Creator, for all others, this is the proper attitude that must come first. It's from this lofty viewpoint that all things work for our good, and that includes any vaccine or not. So it's not the right or wrong. It's not if you go north or south or east or west. It's not if you go downstairs or upstairs. It's the kinetic belief in your actions that produces the good results. So I hope that helps. And of all you KB creatives that have been practicing your belief, I'm sure that it does. Today, the awesome assumptions of greatness. You're going to ask something. You started to say something.
Yeah, I just, what everything you just said, it gave me this strange memory of my great-grandmother and also my great-grandfather. And they both used a lot of tobacco products from the time that they were actually really, really young. But they lived to be well into their 90s, constantly smoking and, doing chewing. And, they were simple country folk. And they never had any health problems. And I always did kind of wonder if it was because they didn't believe it was bad for them. Because
Absolutely.
They didn't believe it.
If you believe it's good, it's good. If you believe it's bad, it's bad. If you think that you can, then you can. If you believe you cannot, you cannot. And that is the fundamental truth of the reality of our subjective beliefs.
Wow.
That makes something true. And so it is with all things. All things working together for good for those that believe that they are good for them.
We really are the final authority.
The final authority, have the dominion and the authority to be the final authority over what's good for you in this life.
Yes.
So the awesome assumptions of greatness, when we were going through an airport recently, I asked the baggage handler how he was doing. And do you remember what he said?
No.
Living the dream.
Oh.
It sounded just like,
Yeah.
that was his answer.
He also had sort of this hilarious, dry, blank stare.
But I mean,
are you
I
kidding?
think we were so tired, though. I mean, it really got you especially. I mean,
But when
you
he
laughed
started,
so hard.
all
And he was
three of
laughing
us
too.
just started laughing
It was
hysterically.
Precious, great. But that's a great question. Are you living the life of your dreams? And now, before you answer the question, every dream has a road leading to it.
I love that.
Are you living the life of your dreams? And
There is a way.
And you are, if you are on the way to living to destination dream, then you're living your dream.
Wow.
A lot of people often wonder how to receive, how to manifest what they're believing for, and how do they get it coming toward them again after, for example, they've been disappointed by something, or they got engaged with somebody, got into a heated argument, they said things that they wish they had not said, they did some things that they know that they shouldn't have done, and now, I understand, I realize I'm out of my love walk, my energetics are wrong, and I just know that I'm no longer attracting what I was hoping to manifest in my life. In other words, do you believe that you're doing all that you know to do as a kinetic believer, and that you still just aren't seeing any change in your life, and so you're starting to look for, what did I do wrong? Where did I mess up? Who did I offend? Where am I broken in my? What's the brokenness in my life where love is concerned? Because look, of any kind of a perceived delay that you may be having right now, many people will start to question who they are, and they'll start thinking about, well, what's wrong with me? They lay at night with their head on the pillow, the lights out, thinking something must be wrong with me, and wondering why things just don't work out for them like they wish that they would. If this is you, or if it's ever been you, I want to talk to you today about the creative power of assumption. Because look, when you start to doubt yourself, you're entering into one of the biggest destructive delusions, which is the belief that there are causes other than our own state of consciousness that creates our circumstances. All that afflicts or comes against any person, it happens as a result of their state of being, of their state of consciousness.
Wow. Yes. Afflictions, they come as a result of our state of consciousness. And I really like what you just said. We are in a state of destructiveness when we're doubting ourselves. That's so powerful to know that, isn't it? Just, again, as you said, because we believe that something else is causing our negative circumstances. I mean, isn't that like having excuses, which is the same thing as, just being a victim?
Yeah, yes, our state of consciousness is made of our subjective reality. It's formed by what we believe, really believe. The life that we are perceiving, for example, that's what we believe about life. Our state of consciousness is what we believe to be true and what we believe to not be true for us. Now, this is vital for the kinetic believer. It's through the process of journaling, blueprinting our desires while reimagining our purpose and our place and our relationships, our identity, that we change our conscious expectations, which is necessary before we can actually change our circumstances. So, for example, water either boils or freezes as a result of change in temperature. And the property of its physical state changes when you change the temperature. Well, it's the same type thing. The property of a person's physical state changes when the direction of our energy changes. In other words, we are transformed by renewing our minds. The substance of belief, it's always coming. It's always being attracted. It's always coming toward us. Now, we may stop it. We may do something that stops it where it was, but it doesn't depart. It doesn't leave. It doesn't unform. It's still there moving toward us at all times unless we do something to stop it, but it still exists. The evidence of belief, if it's not presently seen, manifested, it's coming to be seen. Even when we don't see the immediate effects of our kinetic beliefs, the substance of belief, the quantum physical substance of belief is in motion. Circumstances are in motion to change, to align with our beliefs. It's active and it's always coming. For example, let's say that you're believing for a better work environment, a place where you could be creative without the stress of drama, without the stress of other people who are not KBs. Right? I mean, they're not working on their peace. They're not working on their joy and their happiness levels.
They're working on yours, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So, and they're not advancing their mind. They're not advancing their body. They're not advancing their soul like you are.
Right.
And you certainly can't show up tomorrow and tell them to start doing these things. But it doesn't work like that. But now, if you have to engage with them, sure, it can be a little challenging to maintaining your manifesting level of gratitude, and you've got to go in there day after day. But let's say somebody really upsets you, and you know it was intentional, and you know that being angry or upset will then pause your attracting energetics. Remember that whatever it is that you're working on attracting, it is not lost. Okay? What you're attracting hasn't gone away. It simply stopped where it was. And it will continue then, begin moving again toward you the very moment that you get your kinetic functioning in place again, your kinetic belief functioning again. The substance of belief is coming. Write that down, because I'm going to write it down. But it's coming. The speed at which it comes now depends upon your positive, grateful, loving, joy-filled, expectant gratitude. Even when you stand in kinetic belief for what seems like an eternity, waiting for something to show up, the reality of your changed life already exists. We're not creating something that doesn't exist. There's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new in the universe. It's already there. Your best life is being, it's unfolding right now. Rather, you're experiencing it or not. Your best life already exists. So the reality of all of your greatest desires existing now, it's coming to you, even though you can only see it in the beginning within the pages of your manifesting journal. Your kinetic belief, your kinetic belief that you're journaling in your manifesting law of attraction journal, that is what represents your breakthrough. You're standing and continuing to the daily process, the way of life of the kinetic believer is the thing that represents the breakthrough that you know is coming your way.
Wow. So you could say that the more I meditate to work my kinetic belief, then the quicker I'll see my dreams come true. I guess you could even say that if there's a thing as having a lot of kinetic belief, then that would be relative to having, you can also have a little belief, but yeah.
Yes, but it's not just as mysterious though as a lot of belief. Jesus said that if you have an article of faith, which is a kinetic belief, as large as a grain of mustard seed, and then say what you believe that you have, nothing will be impossible for you. Now think about that. The mustard seed is one of the tiniest, most insignificant seeds that's found in the Middle East, and it's a fast-growing herb. the mustard seed grows up to about 10 feet tall in just a few months, which is an example of...
Does it really? Wow.
Well, yeah, it just
didn't
takes a few
know
months. And that's the example of the potential of a tiny, tiny, insignificant seed. So what Jesus was saying is, and quantum theory has demonstrated through particle entanglement observations, is that where there is a tiny bit of faith, the smallest amount of the substance of a belief, it can grow to immense proportions. Like we were talking about, all the KB creators all over the world. It spreads like kudzu, spreading its influence and benefiting all those that it comes into contact with. A seed does nothing until it's planted, right? A desire only has potential kinetic energy. It's not an objective assumption until it's acted upon, until it's been planted and sown. And then it's after that, the kinetic energy of our belief can then overcome every obstacle. It doesn't matter what it is that seems to be holding you back, education, finances, money, whatever it is, a border bully, it doesn't matter. Kinetic energy of your belief can overcome every obstacle. Just like a seed that's planted in the ground, it can move rocks. Actually, through its expansion and its growth, the roots of a seed can move rocks around, go around the rocks, whatever is required. A kinetic belief cannot be stopped from manifesting by any person. It can't be stopped by negative circumstances. It cannot be stopped by a lack of resources. Nothing can stop an unwavering kinetic belief from manifesting. Seeds are persistent. They never give up. And where there is kinetic belief functioning, abundance always follows. Look, today when you journal to clarify your vision for your health, for your finances, or anything else, assume your success by gratefully putting action to your belief. The action is not as important as the fact that you're putting action to the belief. I've done some crazy things with healing, using things that have nothing to do with healing, but the action mixed with the substance of belief brings it into this realm. This releases the kinetic potential of your desire to come quickly. It brings the thing that you are desiring to manifest. This is a way of life. Go to your hygge space and do it on purpose, with purpose in mind. Meditate to come into the present moment, because this is what quietens the mind. And then journal. Journal with joy, to press into your thoughts and to do it with gratitude. Pay really close attention to the words that you plan to speak for the day. And look, resist speaking or communicating anything that is a contradiction of the good things that you expect to see. Words are actually things. Look at words. Look at the words that you say, the conversations that you have, whatever you are speaking, that you're speaking things. They contain the DNA of thought, and they do attract. In other words, say it enough and you will have what you say.
Yes.
Good or bad. No person is living a life right now that does not reflect the things that they've been talking about. The power of assumption is the power of creation. An assumption is a bias of belief. Assumption is an objective belief regarding how our reality is perceived around us. In other words, if you're working to change your conscious state of awareness, we change our thoughts by creating new assumptions because we think from our ideas. Look, if you're under the impression that perhaps you're on the wrong track toward perfecting your life, I can tell you this, that all transformation begins with an intense, burning desire to be transformed. Like I hear from so many of you when you write in and you got in your journal and you're on day 21 or 28 or 55 or whatever it is, I can tell that you got this intense burning desire to be transformed. And if you have a guided journal to keep your thoughts on the trajectory of advancement and your expectations are active, then you are aligned for attracting your highest viewpoint and thought forms, those desires. In 2021, as the world undertakes this great shift of consciousness, each day set aside me time. You must do this. Me time. Call it me time. Let everybody know that you love and that loves you, that you need your me time for the time. So you can be the best you for them. And this is, we intentionally, KBs, look, you intentionally, on purpose, renew your mind. You have to be in the business of renewing the mind with each desire that we plan to manifest into our lives. Kinetic believers must want to be different and just have an intent to be different. Embellishing the assumption that you're different, that's what increases the expectation. That what? Not only am I different, but I intend to be different. If I'm not different, I'm going to figure out how to be different. Yes. I intend to be, I want to be, I need to be, because I am. And then by speaking aloud the words of our affirmations, the desires of our journaled blueprints, we are planting the seed of our articles of faith, the element of our belief, to form our future dreams, to become a present fact.
So that's always it, isn't it? We assume the grateful feeling of each of our desires as already fulfilled.
Already having
it's
come
already
to pass.
done.
Yes, this is conscious rewilding.
Yes.
The kinetic belief process for casting down negative source influencers so that we can relocate our original self other than what we've been what we've just haphazardly become because of the negative influencers. But it's from going back that I can create the ideal of the person that I assume to be.
And it is accidental, isn't it? When we're not doing any of this on purpose, it's sort of just like this scattershot of thought and people and stuff and circumstances has created our surroundings in our life. And so I love this idea. And it's the one thing I have to say that when I first became a kinetic believer, and still today, it's the thing I'm always going back to and working on, and a skill that I'm honing. This idea of not wishing for something to come, but believing actively that it is here, it is now, even stirring up those feelings and energetics that it's here and that it's already around, it's surrounded me. It's
active
part of
belief.
me.
Yes, that's active belief. That's so good. And the word accidental, another word for that is victimization.
Yes.
I've been victimized. It was an accident that I became victimized, but it is the on purpose intention of the believer that overcomes all things where there aren't any accidents, that you are no longer a victim to circumstances.
And that's a wonderful light bulb that comes on, isn't it? When we first become kinetic believers, you go, oh my goodness, it doesn't have to be like this. What?
Right.
It's amazing.
We were I was speaking to a young lady yesterday,
yes.
And she was telling me how difficult it is. She's a KB creative. She's a kinetic believer, but has some difficulties with her mother, she said, who's a very negative person. And as much as she loves her mom, she said, I'm an empath, though, Steve, and I care about her so much. And yes, she brings me down, and it becomes very dramatic. And I'm just such a dramatic person. She said, I can't control my emotions. I said, hold it right there. I said, are you able to control your emotions? She said, no. I said, then you have what you say. Oh. Start saying that I can control my emotions. And you know what will happen? That will come to her. The wisdom for doing that. The control of emotions will become her. Look, when you blueprint your journal desires, you assume to love. You assume to know, to aspire to become the person that you already are. And if this ideal self is persisted in until you're no longer double-minded about it, or you're no longer in need of being convinced, when it becomes your dominant feeling, the attraction of your action, your ideal self is inevitable to manifest. If you can think of it, it's because it already exists for you. The attitude of the kinetic believer is that I no longer require permission from influencers to become the expression of my higher self. I accept the one that I came into the natural to be. I accept that one as the highest expression of me. It's my mental state of assumptions that create my subjective expectations. Look, when I choose to really practice unconditional love on purpose, I'm not threatened by the perceived success or failures of other people. I'm released from those negative feelings that come when I abuse my dominion, which is assuming that I'm responsible for the success or the failure of other people.
Yeah.
Now that I've done that, and I let them be, and let them experience, and let them learn, now I'm centered, you see. My mind can rest. And it's from this place of being that I enter into a higher state of consciousness where I can receive additional insights regarding me, regarding spiritual knowledge, which, by the way, is higher, so much higher than intellectual knowledge. Do this and you will have ascended to a point that is understood by not more than one person in a million. It's from this highest viewpoint of awareness that you understand that you can know a thing consciously by observing it from the outside, by comparing it with other things, by analyzing it, by objectifying it. But we can know a thing, and we can know it intuitively within our original nature only by becoming it. For example, love becomes me. I'm not prosperous. I am prosperity. I'm not joyous. I am joy. I'm not trying to become happy. No, I am one with happiness. I am one with perfected health. I like what Orville Wright of the Wright brothers, who invented flight, said. He said that if we worked on the assumption that what is accepted as true really is true, then there would be little hope for advancement.
Yes.
Let's work on some guided thought forms. Just say this aloud. Say, my creative genius.
My creative genius
Is attracting great wealth today.
It's attracting great wealth today.
I don't believe any negative thing for me.
I don't believe any negative thing for me.
Because I've entered into the land
I have entered into the land
of my greatness and prosperity.
of my greatness and prosperity.
I am aligned with my destiny.
I'm aligned with my destiny.
Of my purpose.
Of my purpose.
And all is well.
And all is well.
I said all is well.
I said all is well.
All is well.
All is well.
My genius of purpose is unique to me.
My genius of purpose, it's unique to me.
And only to me.
And only to me.
I'm not like anyone else.
I'm not like anyone else.
Therefore, I'm the greatest of me with ease.
Therefore, I'm the greatest of me with ease.
I'm attracting the abundance of my life's purpose today.
I'm attracting the abundance of my life's purpose today.
Everywhere I go.
Everywhere I go.
And with everyone I see.
And with everyone I see.
Every solution for every hindrance is within me now.
Every solution for any hindrance is within me now.
My gratitude for wisdom.
My gratitude for wisdom
is changing every circumstance.
It's changing every circumstance
to favor me now.
To favor me now. Wow, Steve, I can really just feel more than ever just love just becoming me, joy becoming me, happiness becoming me, all good things becoming me. What an awesome, powerful podcast yet again. Make sure you check out Stephen's 21-day. It's brand new, the Attracting Abundance Life Workbook. You can find that at stephenkenyon.com. And then also check out the private Facebook group, also at stephenkenyon.com. So it's just such a wonderful way to interact with other kinetic believers. Like you were giving that amazing list of all the countries around the world. Everyone's in there. It's a great place to be.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to start a house-to-house, home-to-home tour. If you hear a knock on the door, look out the window. It might be little Miss Maggie and me coming by to have
please?
To have a little chit chat with all the KB creatives.
Oh man,
what a great way to do a tour.
I know. I'm ready for it. More ready than ever. Wow.
That's the awesome assumptions of greatness. Sending out much love to all you KB creatives all around the world.
Yeah, and thanks as usual, Steve, for all the wisdom.
Bye.